Your nature desires resolution. Objectivity is important. One may say there is no objectivity, yet they still live by general principles to get by. It's also much to separating belief and knowledge. Belief is limited, as with knowledge, but knowledge will never hurt. It's only ever incomplete. We are destined to learn, and for us to speak of no objectivity, we can speak of no truth or any better world because we cannot define what makes it better. In fact, we cannot even have definitions. Not all is instinct because it follows the nature of belief, whereas knowledge with conscience and consciousness. Beliefs will always be based in some level of knowledge, but that again highlights knowledge, so not to be limited to belief or subjectivity. For if you seek subjectivity, you seek unlimited freedom with no rules, ultimately chaos. You seek to be controlled by those who will do anything, and you see such anything as legitimate if they can convince you. You are now a subject, a slave of subjectivity. To know the objective is to actually have objectives. Direction of your own life, which you recognize you inherently objectively own, because there is such things as these words, just as these concepts, just as all, however much unknown, as known they also are. Just as free will and instinct shall always remain, so shall natural law and morality of our great ability for high-order thinking. Expect not of all peoples, but expect the law, and teach it to all peoples. And without government, morality in such a world will be optimized, so that freedom and sustainability, the greatest lessening of harm, can be done. The belief in government, also called statism, constitutes a lack of human nature, of individual sovereignty, responsibility, consciousness, and conscience. One must understand the law, natural law, to best live with it. Thus, one must understand objective morality in order to harmonize with natural law, as it is integral to intention and answer. Number 1. Does your understanding of what is right come from nature or man? And number 2. Receiving this from yourself or others? To understand all of this is to know objective or natural morality by natural law for natural rights. This subject matter is not to be overthought. It is common sense upon right versus wrong, as this distinctively defines human rights. Perhaps it is obvious truth, unseen and untold, that knowing what is right defines your rights. Rights will come from man if subjective, not from nature or God, as nature and God implies objective. To know that nature is the answer is to automatically recognize objectivity, and thus the goal of humankind is to seek objectivity, or align themselves to such understanding by their own actions. Subjective morality is known as moral relativism, much related to that of nihilism, solipsism, and the core ideology of Satanism. In any court system, how can a judge give the right judgment without some level of objective foundation? Everything in life is dictated by law, all the time. There must be for behavior as by cause and effect. Thus, there is a science of morality that goes by many names, from many cultures all around the world, spoken of for all of time. The Golden Rule, karma, the law of attraction, moral law, natural law, consequentialism, to just name a few. Doing your own research upon simply those will lead to plenty of science and human interest, both highlighting even more the importance. We are destined for order if we care about our world. We seek objective morality, even if it's not perfectly perceived as by the nature of words. Guidelines provided by natural law helps regardless, and it hurts none to know of something that is wrong no matter what, and something that helps define your rights. We perceive all the laws of nature. We create the labels for all these forms. The heart of natural law is the sense of objective morality. Natural law is the most deeply occulted knowledge on earth. Occult means hidden. Thus, the knowledge of objective morality should be expected not to be easily digested in a world of moral relativism. While objective morality is expressed by the name of natural law, moral relativism is expressed by the name of man's law. One's choice of abidance lives in either universal, eternal, immutable, right-producing natural law, or the dogmatic, temporary, harm-producing man's law. Moral relativism manifests the conditions in which people can do whatever they want. No objective consequence because no objective wrongdoing. They can make justifications for their own actions, which can become accepted by other relativists regardless of the action's actual implications. Natural law, on the other hand, provides a firm sense of right and wrong, justice, observing individual actions, all wrongdoings constituting a form of theft of property or in creating a victim. Should you need scientific papers to prove that harming someone is wrong? The fact this isn't common sense or of human conscience is often the very problem. Is it possible we are promoting this particular type of wrongdoing in many ways we are unconscious of? That scenario is even more important than tackling this issue, but the issue helps support that scenario, so we know to tackle this scenario. Where's the proof for objective morality in society at work? Well, beside from conscience or the prefrontal neocortex high-order thinking human brain, may it be the principle of mentalism as well as other hermetic principles, the importance of education, the human destiny, the scientific process of the trivium, the fact laws govern everything, the desire for order and truth, the dangers of moral relativism, and the universal intention, as well as everything else shared and supported here in the tapestry of life. The fact that natural law goes by many names, the fact that so many factors and dependencies go into behavior alone, proves the fact morality can be a complex science, but that the basis of simplicity is to be found in conscience, which we all have, which we are all meant to use, which works in choosing behavior to begin with and in creating the world we desire. It can really be this simple, knowing behavior and its implications on society, objective morality based on objective behavior. We ought to ever understand morality more and more as time goes on, just as any nature for which truth can be found in everything and shows itself prevalent through time. We've seen the horrors in following moral relativism or among doing the opposite of exercising conscience, the lack of ownership or knowledge of rights, the arbitrary dictates of rulers. Even the word anarchy isn't meant to be complicated, for in Greek it simply and only means no rulers. It is maximum freedom, by definition, simply nature or reality. This doesn't mean you aren't the ruler of yourself or that there aren't rules to follow. Humans aren't perfect. We aren't supposed to be perfect, but we shall seek optimization. Think of objectivity as the activity of you focusing onto an object. Indeed, the beliefs, cultures, or religions can get in the way of your focus, and so it may take time to grow clarity toward this object, but nonetheless, the question is if you ought to seek it to live in harmony with others who can see the same. If people are not seeking that common morality from nature and conscience, they will surely embrace moral relativism and make it hard to have the actual common good. They only will not seek it if they've never been shown the object to focus on, or other focuses were created. Thus, it is a matter of recognition and knowledge. Most adults learn that as they grow up, it is wrong to harm others or participate in any wrongdoing. Simple behavior done out of human heart. Is the sole topic of moral objectivity necessary for understanding statism? No. But for many important aspects, yes. It provides great support. It is actually the ultimate underlying reason. This sole topic wasn't necessary for abolition either, but it provides support and was the ultimate underlying reason. More importantly, is moral objectivity relevant? We are bound to its objectivity by our conscience. We naturally study and follow this intention bound to us, not that we won't get clouded from its clear sight, and thus that is where often the work must be done. And so, if we wish to know how to actually define rights and all that comes with it, freedom, governance, criminal behavior, morality is the necessary foundation. If we wish to remain human and keep our nature belonging with us, then we use our conscience and not give it away among responsibility and other aspects that allow sovereignty and freedom, including the seeking of all ideas without imposition, knowing statism. If we wish to defeat statism, it is doing all just this, where truth or morality is authority itself, not the other way around. Nature in thyself rules thyself. So whether individual conscience knowing of statism or objective morality by natural law, this all correlates to a universal intention in all things, giving way to what is natural to exist or be, in what is unnatural or denaturing. Let us not fall to what we know is wrong, and thus learn more if we care to do what is right together. Learn natural law and more about conscience and statism at nita.one. Nature's the answer, you are the question.